Hello everyone from Zecho Chamber channel. Today we are going to talk about fears. You will be surprised to hear about the strange phobias we are going to talk about. But first, let's start with what fear is. Fear has an important role in the evolutionary development of humanity. Evolutionary psychologists argue that fear is an adaptation that helps humans survive and perpetuate their species. Early in human history, fear increased an individual's chances of survival by allowing them to avoid danger. For example, fleeing from a predator's attack was a reflection of the survival instinct. Fear encourages us to avoid potential risks. This means avoiding dangerous situations and ensuring safety. This increases an individual's chances of long-term survival. Fear also brings people together, encouraging them to form communities. A strong group can increase each individual's chances of survival. Therefore, fear strengthens social bonds and increases the ability to live cooperatively. Another way in which fear helps people is that it allows individuals to recognize dangerous situations and avoid similar situations in the future. This improves people's ability to learn from their experiences and better adapt to life. People express their fears through mythology, stories, and art. This contributes to cultural development and helps people find ways to cope with their fears. As a result, fear has played an important role in human evolution because it has increased the chances of survival and reproduction. However, in modern societies, fear often manifests in different forms and is not limited to physical dangers. Social, economic, and psychological factors can also cause fear. In this case, the evolutionary role of fear becomes more complex. As for phobias, they are the most intense forms of fear. When people encounter the stimulus that triggers fear, they first experience a sense of uneasiness and restlessness. Sometimes it can turn into a panic attack crisis as the person's worries intensify. People know that their phobias are irrational, but they do not stop their fears. They try to defend this irrational fear by rationalizing it. Because there must be a rational explanation for running away or reacting in a big way. Advanced fears sometimes reach such a point that the person's daily work is interrupted and social relations may be disrupted. The roots of our disturbing fears often lie in childhood. Phobias seen in preschool period sometimes also occur in maturity. Phobia confined spaces, phobia of heights, phobia of dogs, phobia of the dark are more common and more likely to be encountered. But the phobias that we will discuss are the ones that we will be surprised to hear and say, there is such a phobia. Here are the interesting phobias that have entered the psychology literature from the Zecho Chamber channel. Here we go. Cherophobia. That is, the person is afraid of being happy. People with this condition avoid acting positively and building positive relationships. Aeisoptrophobia. The person is afraid of their reflection in the mirror or the reflection of another person. Those who suffer from this phobia, who spend most of their time in front of a mirror, inevitably think that they have lost their mind. Pogonophobia. This phobia, which may have developed as a result of childhood trauma, is the fear of beards and people with beard. Arithmophobia. This phobia is related to the fear of numbers, possibly triggered by memories of math lessons at school. Anatideiaphobia. Fear of being watched by a duck. Such a fear can develop if a person was attacked by a duck in early childhood. Asymmetrophobia. It is the fear of objects that are not symmetrical. Usually people with this phobia try to avoid non-symmetrical places and stay indoors because they feel extreme anxiety. Rhinophobia. It is an intense fear of frogs. It is named after the scientific name of one of the largest frog families. Kumpunophobia. This phobia, which regularly causes fear and anxiety, refers to the fear of buttons on clothes. Agyrophobia. It is the intense fear of crossing the street at a pedestrian crossing. Naturally, it occurs in residents of megacities, which is not surprising. Trypophobia. It is the fear of holes, characterized by a fear of objects with holes. People with trypophobia feel displeasure and disgust when they see holes that are harmless and normal. Transphobia. It is the fear of transgender people that is manifested in homophobic people. Ailophobia. It is a fear of wooden objects and trees. There is no agreed explanation of how it developed. Pantherophobia. Fear of one's partner's mother for fear that she will interfere in their lives. We know that married couples generally dislike their mother-in-law, but the phobia level of fear is really surprising. Atylophobia. It is the fear of not being perfect. Harsh self-judgment leads to various psychological disorders such as anxiety, stress, feeling inadequate, and low self-esteem. Peladophobia. It is a phobia that manifests as a fear of baldness and bald people. Halotopia. It is the fear of having bad breath. These are probably the dentist's favorite community. Acrobutyrophobia. Fear of peanut butter sticking to your palate when eating peanut butter. Geophyrophobia. A phobia is the fear of crossing bridges, although many people experience it in a mild form. Heliophobia. It is the human fear of the sun and shining lights. Don't immediately think of vampires. This is a human phobia. There are many phobias in the world that we have never even heard of. In this video, we tried to cover the phobias that caught our eye and seemed the most interesting to us. We hope you had a good time. If you have any strange phobias you have heard of, you can add them in the comment section. That's it for now from the Zecco Chamber channel. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, and click the like button before we see you in the next video. We wish you a day when your fears are small and insignificant. Take care of yourselves.